All right, well, I reckon we're probably ready for our main topic. Are you ready? Anyone want some free traffic strategies? Anyone pay for ads here? Anyone pay for Facebook ads or whatever? Yeah, okay, good as gold. Look, this tonight is not an alternative to ads. It should help you to improve your ads, and it should help you to get more traffic to your website that you're not paying for. It will also, if you are paying for traffic and are paying for ads, if you improve some of these things with your website and use them in combination, you'll actually get more leads and inquiries coming out of it, and more inquiries. So tonight is really about, it's not about you having any particular specialist knowledge or being techie or really a web guru. It really is designed for you in business to be able to grasp and take hold of some of these things. There are lots of resources around there to help you as well too. Obviously, I won't be able to get through all of them. In terms of a lot of depth, but I'll give you as much as I can, and hopefully it raises more questions for you as well too, to help you to go and do some more research and finding out. Now, I wouldn't expect you're going to implement all of these. I would recommend that you have a look at the 7 that I show you, and look at what your low-hanging fruit's going to be. What's going to be the easiest thing for you to be able to implement? Implement it 100%. So don't get halfway through and give up and not finish or go to the next thing. Make sure you finish it before you move on to the next one. Because if you've got sort of 3 traffic strategies that are unfinished, or 4 traffic strategies are unfinished, you're getting no traffic. You're getting no benefit at all. But if you finish one, you'll get the benefit of that, and then you can start on the next one. Finish that one, get the benefit of it, and it will they will just layer on top of each other as well too. The other thing about these strategies too is that they don't you can use them in isolation with each other, but you can also use them in combination with each other as well too. So they can all work together to really amplify and magnify the traffic that you get through. Free traffic, what that means, it means that you're not paying any money to send any to send people to your website, but it doesn't mean it's not going to cost you any money, or it's not going to cost you any time. So you will be investing time into it. So it does take time for you to do that. So be prepared to invest some time in to learn the stuff and to implement it. Where the money comes in, sometimes there are tools there that you might need to pay for to help you with it as well. If it's a tool that's going to help you, pay for the tool if it's going to give you the benefits as well. Don't go overboard and pay for every tool, but just look for the ones that are going to be critical for you, that are really going to work for you. The advantages of free traffic over paid traffic is when you are running ads, when you stop paying for them, the traffic stops. So if you're running Google ads and you stop paying for those ads no longer show. You don't get any more clicks through to your website. So you have to keep paying for it in order to get the traffic. Free traffic, you don't have, like once you've got it set up, it's hard to turn off. So let's say you have your website, there's a page on your website that's on page 1 and in first position in Google search results. You can't turn that off. It's going to be there until sort of someone optimizes and sort of pops up above you, or doesn't work to pop up above you, but it's going to stay there. I mean, you can turn it off if you take down the web page, which is probably not your objective. So paid ads gives you more control about how much traffic you get to your site. You can tweak it and have that control. Free traffic, you'll get a constant stream of traffic coming through. Sometimes it takes you longer to get it. It takes a lot more work and energy to get in there, but it certainly pays off in the long run. All right, so let's bring up my screen. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen there, which has got the traffic, 7 traffic methods. Just give us a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Sweet. Excellent. All right. All right. So traffic, all it is directing people to your website. That's it. So that's the job of both free and paid traffic, is simply to tell people you exist and to send people there. So, and why is it important? Well, just consider this. If you have a physical shop and you build a physical shop in the desert with no people around, then it's highly unlikely, however good your product and service is, very unlikely you're going to make any sales at all. Not because you're no good, it's just that no one knows you're there and no one knows that you exist. That there is pretty much the landscape of the online world today. So people put up websites, and people just don't know that those websites are there because they can't find them. And the reason why they can't find them is that they're sitting on page 15 of the search results, which is probably there or further back when you first put up a website. So you need some strategies there to let people know that you are there. So these free strategies, they work for if you're just launching a website, or if you're just working on, say, a web page. You've just created a web page and you want to drive traffic to a web page. So it works for that as well. So one thing you should think about your website is your website is a number of websites in that same vehicle. So every page is a mini website in its own right. So each page stands on its own, pretty much when it comes to getting traffic. So and when you're sending traffic to your website, just avoid the temptation of sending them all to your home page. You really want to send them to the most relevant page that you can for the question that they've got, for the search term that they're asking for. If you do that, that's the first thing you should do, and that there alone will increase your inquiry and conversion rate. So have a look at what people are looking for, what they're searching for, and try and tailor your content to the questions that they're asking, and go and try and answer their questions. If you can do that there, you don't actually need to know too much more about search or search optimization than to do that. If you do that, that there is half of the game. There's a whole lot more to it, but if you do that, that's really where you start. So really, we want to move your online store out of the desert and into a shopping center or a shopping precinct where there is lots of traffic. All right, so here we go. Here's some of the ways to do it. These are methods that I use, and I use reasonably effectively as well too. So I'm not going to be talking to you about free strategies that other people talk about. These are things that I do, so I know that they work as well too. If you do or do some of these and take them on and commit yourself to it, you will get results as well too. So first thing is have a blog. How many people here have got a blog? A few of us. Okay. How many people are actively posting on that blog? And so like once a week, or once a month? Yeah. Okay. So a few of us. So the first thing I would say to you is get active with blogging, create content, write articles. And in fact, it's not that hard as well too. So you already know what your area of expertise is. If I was to give you one tip that is really going to help you to easily write a blog post, that is to record yourself as you're having conversations with your clients and customers. So because you know your topic so well, you will be surprised what comes out of your mouth. Some of that stuff that comes out of your mouth is fantastic content for a blog. Now, the reason for that is pay attention to the questions that people ask you and the answers that you give. That there is really what you should be writing about: questions and answers. So and when you do that, only for a blog post, only write one topic in a blog post. Resist the temptation of covering 16 different things in one article. So the narrower you write, the more likely it is that you're going to be found, and the more likely that you're going to get up there in terms of search traffic as well too. So, and again, it comes back to what I was saying before, that if you can sort of think about long tail keywords. Let me give an example there. It's like a keyword is, you know, someone's wanting to buy a car. So, a keyword is, you know, a car. That's a keyword. So that's really broad. We want to narrow it down. Then we'll say buy, you know, buy a car. So that's narrowed the search down. That's 3 words in there, and you know that sort of someone that types in buy a car is probably interested in buying a car. But even that's still pretty broad as well too. So then think about your search term as what type of car are they looking to buy? So you might think about a term like where to buy a Mini. So that's now becoming a long tail keyword because they're getting specific about the type of car that they want. And then if you go even further, it's like where to buy a red Mini with mag wheels that has got a spoiler on it in the Gold Coast. That there is what you call a long tail keyword. And if you can write to those and answer those questions, then you have a infinitely better chance of getting up in the search engines, getting you onto page 1 of Google search for, you know, when people are asking those questions there. And if you do that, that's your quickest source of starting to get some free traffic. Now you might ask, well, how do I know what people are asking? Fortunately, there are a heap of good tools out there. Let me just find one of them for you. Let's get back to the browser. All right. And here's another app and tool. Some of you have seen this one before. This one's called AnswerThePublic.com. So this should be your best friend. There is an alternative, which is AskSocrates.com. But what this tool does is, oh, there you go. They've got a search term in there, chocolate. Let's actually just refine it down to dark chocolate. And you can choose your location. So let's have a look. What have they got? What do we got? We want to find out what New Zealanders think about what they're searching for in dark chocolate. So click search, and what Answer the Public does and Ask Socrates does is it will go out and it scrapes the search terms from Google. So these are actual terms people are actually searching for today, and these are the top searches that they're looking for. So and to show you where they get these results from as well too, let's just get to Google and type in dark chocolate. Okay, so you see we've typed in dark chocolate, and you can see that underneath that there are what they call predictive search results. So these are it's anticipating what you're going to be searching for next, or the next word that you're going to have. How it anticipates that is the volume of people that are typing the next word. So dark chocolate, you've got 60,000 people searching. Dark chocolate benefits, 14,000 people are searching for that. So Google's saying, well, I reckon that you're probably by the odds are going to be looking at the benefits. If it's not one of those, maybe it's dark chocolate Woolworths because you're looking where to buy some, or Coles, Rocky Road, calories. There you go. So, and you can see the volume of search alongside it. I've actually got a plugin sort of installed which tells me that as well too. But this is what's important. These are drop down of predictive results. Now, Answer the Public goes through and it just collates and groups all of those terms in the search. So you can see here there are lots and lots of search terms. So if you want to write blog posts on dark chocolate and you want to make them quite specific for long tail keywords, here you go. Here's a really good long tail one. Which dark chocolate is best for weight loss in India? So there you go. That is actually a highly searched term in New Zealand. So I don't know why it's highly searched in New Zealand. So there you go, because remember we've got search terms in New Zealand. So maybe there are a contingent of people looking for that to send recipes to the relatives. I don't know. So there you go. So I would be looking at writing these. Now the way to work these two is to group together similar terms and I would look for maybe sort of 6 or 7 similar topics and write a paragraph about each of them and put it into one blog post under the main topic. So there you go. That's a really simple way to do it. And if you have a look through the terms here, lots and lots and lots of search terms. But what I recommend you do is see this button here says download CSV. Click that. It'll download all of the terms for you. You can start to organize it and can pretty much get together a 12-month calendar to create your social media or your blog content. So that's where you go. That's one of the places you can go and find keywords that people or questions that people are asking, what they're actually searching for to really help you with your blog content. All right. If there was nothing else that you did at the end of this, at the end of tonight, and you just started a blog, that would be the one thing that I think would be at top of your list. And I think that's the one that's the lowest hanging fruit that's going to give you the most result. And the reason for that is once you've got a blog, there are so many uses for that blog. You can share it in social media. You can grab snippets out and create images with text on it for social media, and with a link back to your website. You can have you can convert it with that text to audio tool that I showed you, turn it into a podcast, turn it into a video. You know, you can really sort of repurpose that a whole lot of different ways to start to use other free traffic mediums to drive more people back to your website. That makes sense? That helpful? All right. So let's get back. So blog, we're on to number 1. How are we doing for time? All right, I better crack on here. Okay, it might help if I get to the right screen. Let me stop that one. Okay. Way too many screens going here. Okay, I want that one there. Okay. All right, that's number 1. Number 2 is video. How many people like seeing themselves on video? How many people hate to see themselves on video? I think they sort of sound funny and whatever. Well, I reckon you just need to get over that, because it's one of those things that is the most, one of the most important mediums. Podcasting, interestingly enough, is probably more important and more engaging than video, because it's more flexible and that people can listen to a podcast pretty much anywhere. But if you start with video, you've got moving pictures and you've got the audio as well. So you only need to do the one. So best place to start with video is, I would say, get your face out there. My favorite mediums are Facebook Live and LinkedIn Live. So do live videos. So don't pre-record stuff and get up there. Just do imperfect live videos. There's 2 reasons for that. One is if you're doing it on the social media platforms and it's live, then the algorithm will pick it up and it will spread it a lot further, a lot more quickly than it will pre-recorded stuff. And the reason for that is people will comment, they're engaging, and you know, and if you can really get people to comment as they go, then that there really helps to kick the search engine algorithm off and helps to spread a wee bit further. The other thing you can do with video too, and this is what we do as well, is you can share your video through a number of different groups and pages as well. So whenever I go live, I will do it on my own personal profile, and then we'll share it to my pages, so Facebook pages. So we've got a SmashGo Facebook page, we've got a Nik Cree live Facebook page, so that gets shared there at the same time. Also share it to business owners Smashing It Online Facebook group. And so it's really, so that way it's visible in 4 different places on Facebook. So it's got 4 different opportunities for people to come in and see it. So they may not see it on my profile, but it might pop up in in my group on their feed, or might be on one of the pages. So it just extends the reach and gives you more opportunity to reach people. And there are some groups out there and that will allow you to share videos in the groups as well. So don't just share videos into anybody's group. You'll get banned and kicked off some of those. Make sure that either you ask or they've got rules around it which allow you to share in there. Now with your videos, my suggestion is treat it like a blog. So don't use your videos to sell. use it to create, to be helpful, to create good, valuable content, get people to ask questions, or maybe you're answering questions. So if you've been to serve that site like Answer the Public, and you've created say a blog post around some of the topics there, pick out one of those and talk about those in a live video. So that way there, you already know that people are asking the questions because they've been searching for it in Google, because it's in, it's one of the ones that's listed in Answer the Public. So likelihood, people that are searching on Google are still hanging out on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok and those places there. So so just use that same content and talk about it. Talk about it off the cuff. Don't read a script. If you really need a prompt, just grab a sheet of paper, or something where you've got 5 bullet points on it or 3 bullet points on. Just talk to those bullet points, that really is enough. People don't expect perfection on these platforms, and what will happen is the more that you do it, the easier you'll become with it, the more familiar you'll be with it, and the more confident you'll be as well too. Now with the live video content, what you can then do with that, and this is what we do, is we use it for repurposing. So I always add a reasonable sort of caption text with my live videos. We'll download that. That becomes the basis of a blog post. The Facebook live videos, we will download those and then upload the file to another app that I use called otter.ai. So that's probably one worth writing down. So otter.ai, what it does is it transcribes your voice or the audio, transcribe it, and so you can download that as a text document or a Word document. Reasonably accurate. You still need to tidy it up and fix it up, but at the very least, even if you didn't fix it up or tidy it up, you could grab that live video, put it into your website as a video post, put the transcription underneath it, and you've probably got some reasonably good raw content there that's going to be picked up by our search as well too. So you've got ways of repurposing video as well too. So I always like to start with video because you've got the maximum amount of options in terms of creating lots of content with it as well too. You can generally have a call to action at the end of your video. So even though you're providing content, I would have a call to action. I do a live video every Tuesday. Call to action on that live video. Anyone know what my call to action is? Some of you are probably here because of that call to action. It's come and join us on Zoom for this session here tonight. So that's the call to action. So have a call to action, which is, it doesn't need to be a bio one. It could be come to your website. It could be to read more, an article that you've got, a blog post that you've got. It could be any number of things. Just remembering that the most important thing you can capture on your website from someone is their email address. If you have that as your main objective, to get their email address, once you've got that, you now have a medium to be able to communicate with them for free through just sending emails to them. And that'll come up in one of the other free strategies as well too. I know that people say that email is dead or no one reads emails. If it's my kids, absolutely, they don't communicate at all on email. They only ever communicate on Snapchat. So they don't even read email. So you've got to look at the demographic as well too. But generally, so most people are reading emails these days, and we'll talk about that shortly as well. So video, encourage you to get out and then do it. Also with video as well too. YouTube is a great place. How many times have you gone to YouTube to look for a video on how to do something? Who's done that before? Yep. Okay. A few of us. I think that I'm a bit of a DIYer. I get out there I just need an excuse to use my Ryobi power tools, which more than once from when I bought it from Bunnings. So I'm always looking for projects where I can do things. I'm always looking to how to do things. So for Bunnings. In fact, their website's really good as well too, because they've got how-to videos for all sorts of things there. They've got projects on there that I wouldn't even sort of have thought of that I could do, which interested me enough because they sent me a video about it. So I'm thinking, oh, that's probably worthwhile trying as well too. Probably muck it all up, but it's, but they'll sell me all the equipment to muck it up with and all the materials. So, for them, it's great. So think about your ideal customers, the people that you help. How can you show them how to do things. So we've got a really good example tonight. I think it was Candice was asking about Chandel was asking about Elementor and how to do something. There is an ideal opportunity to create a video on a specific topic within that plugin called Elementor on how to do something. So so think about those sort of things. So the questions people are asking, how can you make a video that's going to show them how to do things and really important. Now the reason why that's important is that if you're the person that's showing them how to do things, even if you sell the product or service you're showing them how to do, not everyone's going to necessarily going to go and do it themselves. If they're looking for someone to help them, they're going to go to the person that is seems to be the most knowledgeable. So the easiest way to be the most knowledgeable is to show them how to do things. There's an example of a, what is she? She's a town planner up in Brisbane. Name's Peter, I can't remember her last name, but she started answering emails with video. So whenever anyone asked her a question, she would answer by video. She'd upload them to the YouTube channel. She'd send them an email to say, look, I've answered your video. Here's a link to the YouTube or the YouTube link there. All the answers are there. And what she used to find is that she used to get asked the same question over and over again. And as she built up a bank of videos on YouTube, she just keeps sending, the people to the YouTube channel to get the answers. Saved a whole lot of time for her. But the other thing too is that sometimes people didn't email her for the questions because they knew it was just up on YouTube. So she started to get traffic on YouTube. Now she was a young woman who is a town planner in a fairly male-dominated industry. She used to go along to industry events. And at those events were generally sort of middle-aged to older men who pretty much ignored her when she walked in the room because she was a young woman and what would she know? But what she found was that when she had her YouTube channel up and she had all these videos, she walked into a room and then all of a sudden these blokes that would ignore her would come up to her as the authority and say, look, I've looked at I've seen your videos. Fantastic, so she becomes a celebrity or not a celebrity, but an authority in her own field when she was not considered an authority before, for nefarious reasons with no basis. But that's just how the world works. So it really just helps you to establish your credibility and authority as well. And if you've got it up on YouTube, YouTube is a search engine. So if people are looking for information, they will search in YouTube. If they find it there, then that's a way to drive traffic to your website. So, and if I was to make a recommendation about that, I've said to you that you need to be blogging. I would also add video to it as well too, because again, that's a really quick and easy way to build your authority and to get free traffic. One tip in YouTube though, make sure you optimize your YouTube. So when you upload your videos, make sure that you include keywords in there that people are searching. So all those keywords that you got out of Answer the Public, include those in the keyword section as well. Also include your name and your business name as a keyword too. And in the description, put a description about what your video is about. At the very least, if you want a quick and easy way to provide a description, upload it to Otter and transcribe it, stick that transcription into the description. That's an easy way to do it. YouTube also has a transcription tool as well too. So, if you're looking for another transcription tool, YouTube will transcribe as well too. But in that description, the very first sentence or very first word in that description should be a link to a relevant page on your website that relates to that video. And when I say link, it needs to start with https:// and then your domain. So don't miss off that HTTPS because what that does is it turns it into a clickable link in the description so people can just click on it and go to the website. If you don't have that HTTPS:// it's not a link, it's just words. They have to type it in or copy and paste it. So that's quite a simple trick. YouTube also has Creator Studio as well. Once you start to get into creating more videos, YouTube's Creator Studio, it's got a whole lot better. You can edit videos there. You can add captions. You can do all sorts of things there as well too. So, but I wouldn't worry about that too much at the moment, but as you're developing your channel, worth exploring the that tool that they've got available. All right, so video. Here we go. Oh, another good way to create video is this. So this session that we've got here tonight, this is all video. This goes up onto our YouTube channel tomorrow. We cut and slice some of this up and use these for snippets in social media as well, and in our blog posts as well. So, you know, if you're thinking about running webinars or this type of things or meetups, well worth doing, because it just gives you a ton of content as well that you can keep reusing and keep on getting traffic. So once this is over tonight, we've got it up on YouTube. That means that we get lots of free traffic, keeps coming back to our website from YouTube, from people that watch it later on. And I get messages from people that aren't able to make it tonight. They watch it later on. So it just gives you a whole wider audience, and it can give you an international audience as well too. Next one's email. Don't discount email, even though my kids do not read emails. I know that because I send them emails and they never even open Gmail. So, but email is, people still read emails. So, so don't discount that. People delete emails as well. I know that when I open up my emails in the morning, the first thing I do is highlight. I use Google Workspace, which is really good because you're going to highlight all of the emails, all the checkboxes in the emails in one click. I go down through the emails and I just uncheck all of the ones that I want to read. All the others I just delete. So, so you might think, well, if that happens, what's the point of email? Well, the point of it is that if you are writing highly relevant, engaging content that really is helpful for people and answers those same questions that they're searching for, remember, you know, using AnswerThePublic and using Google, those search terms, use your emails to repeat the messages, send people to your blog post, send people to your YouTube channel or to your specific videos there as well too. You can do a whole lot more with your marketing with email as well too. So again, with your emails, that tool that I spoke about before, what was that called? The headline analyzer. So use that headline analyzer to create your subject, or help you create your subject lines for your emails. So your subject lines is what's going to get people often to open it. So when I've highlighted all of the emails and I'm sort of unclicking all the ones that I want to read, I'm looking at the subject line. It's the only thing I get to read. I'm looking at the it's really the subject line and who sent me the email. Those are the two pieces of information that I use to decide whether I'm going to read that email. So, so those are the two things you need to pay attention to when you're you know, sending out emails in terms of email marketing. Is your whose name is in the sender's area, and what is the headline in the subject area. Really sort of critical piece of information. So invest in an in a CRM. So a CRM is something like MailChimp, Aweber, Entreport, Infusionsoft, Drip, ActiveCampaign, any of those ones there, they're CRMs. What they do is, you know, you can connect that to your website and to, you know, various other media to collect all the email addresses so that they are in there. So you can write an email once and you can send it out to everybody at a click of a button. Or you can separate people off on the basis of interest, how they found you, you know, what it is that they like, and you can send them specific emails that are targeted and tailored just for them. So, so emails are really good. Now, just to give you an example of how good emails can be, I'm sort of in the web space. So there's a chap out there by the name of Chris Lemmer. He lives in the United States. He's Cuban. He wears a hat and he smokes Cuban cigars. He's a big guy too, so he's really easy to recognize. But the great thing about Chris is he writes some really good stuff about WordPress and plugins, how to use plugins and themes and strategies and processes and putting together courses and membership sites. So he's just a really knowledgeable guy. Now, at the beginning of last year, he reinstituted his blog and email. So he had his blog and email together, and he sent out an email every single day. So every day he was sending out something that was relevant, helpful content to, with something to do with, you know, the WordPress ecosystem. Now, I would say I opened and read about 85 to 90% of those emails. So for me, and the reason why I did is because I was really interested in it. I knew that they were generally providing some value. I would learn something from it that would help me. And so I was looking forward to the emails and I would read them. There are other people that I've followed again, emails come through, I read them. The ones that I didn't read, I've always tagged them and made sure that I've saved them so I can come back to them. I never have gone back to them, but at least I've saved them in my email sort of system as well. So think about your content that you're writing is, what is it that your potential customers, or maybe they're your existing customers and clients, how can you be the most helpful to them in terms of answering their questions or giving them useful, helpful information that are going to help them on their journey or their transformation in terms of, you know, whatever it is that they're looking for that you're able to provide. And if you're not sure and you're still not sure about Answer the Public, just ask them. The best way to do it is to send out an email and ask them what they're interested in. You'll be surprised what sort of responses you'll get back. Go to social media. Put a post up on social media, ask them there, ask them to drop their comments in there as well too. So if you get that sort of engagement, then you're going to start to get a you know, more highly engaged email list as well that are interested and wanting to receive your emails. If you want to make it easy for yourself too, the blogs that you publish, they can be exactly the same as the emails you send out. That's your email newsletter. I know Chris Lemmer, he does exactly the same thing. Very top of the email, he says, this was first published on my blog with a link to the page on the blog there. But the blog and email are exactly the same. I use emails sort of differently as well. We obviously use it to let people know about these events or any other events that we're holding. Do use it for tutorials and information as well too. And for, you know, promoting and selling some of our programs as well too. So there's a whole lot of different ways, but the thing of it is that if you focus on driving traffic to your website using some of these free mediums in order to collect their email address and get them into your CRM, then you've got another source of free traffic by sending people out emails and getting them back to your website as well too. It doesn't matter that you're repeating in an email what's in your blog. Sometimes people won't read your blog, but they'll receive the email and they'll read it there. Sometimes they'll see your blog and they'll read that and they won't read your email. So you're actually covering a wider range of bases as well too. All right, so that is number 3. Where are we going? Let's power through some of these. Podcast, webinar, or guest. Look for podcasting opportunities or webinar opportunities where you can be a guest speaker or where you can be interviewed. Now that is a fantastic source of free traffic, because what's happening there is you are being introduced as an expert to the audience of the person who owns the podcast or the webinar. So, and generally most of those people there will ask you for an offer. What can you give? What can you give my audience? Or at the very least, they'll say, where can people get in touch with you to find out a bit more about what you do or to have a chat with you? And so when you are on a podcast or webinar, make sure that you are prepared with a link that you can give people, and generally give one link. So don't say that, you know, you can find me on LinkedIn at Nik Cree. You can find me on Facebook at Business Owners Smashing Online, or I'm on TikTok and all those sort of things there, because all that will happen is people are going to get confused and they won't remember it. Just have one thing. You can find me at smashgo.co. That is smashgo.co. That's it. That's all they need to remember. And give them that. If you've got a special offer for them or whatever, just give them the page where that special offer is, or whatever it happens to be as well too. So, but definitely get on. Have a look. If you have a look in Facebook, there are Facebook groups. There's probably LinkedIn groups for it as well too. Look for podcast groups where people are looking for podcast guests. There are groups there that are specifically for podcasters that are looking for guests. Go and have a look in those groups and go and have a look through, and you can search them by industry as well. So, you know, if you're just using, let's say you're a life coach and looking for life coaching podcasts, you can just type in life coach in the search there. You'll find sort of people in that sort of area there. Or let's say you're a web developer, you know, you'll find people in that sort of area there. So, and now the thing with podcasts as well, don't just approach people to be a podcast guest. Go and listen to their podcast to start with. Subscribe to them. People will see you subscribing to them as well too. So you're supporting them. And also leave a comment. If you can leave a positive comment, review, that sort of thing there, do that as well. Never ask to be a guest in the comments. So you want to be a participant first, and an active participant that they recognize. And so when you do contact them or they contact you, they've already got a frame of reference of, oh, that was Catherine, who she's commented about sort of 6 or 7 times. So I think she seems like she's really cool. I'll be happy to sort of have a conversation with to see whether she's going to be helpful. So so just be a bit strategic about it in terms of that sense there. Be a participant, and then sort of you'll often find that sometimes they have a call out as well too. When they do have a call out on, say, a social media page, look, I'm looking for a podcast guest in this particular area or the specialty, you can then lift up your hand and say, hey, look, I've been listening to your podcast, really interested in it, love the episode that was about such and such. My area of expertise is this. Love to be on your podcast if you think that's going to be helpful for your audience. So something like that there. But I would recommend, if you can get onto a podcast or a webinar once a month, that there's going to really accelerate your traffic. It's free. The other benefits of it too, often your podcast hosts or webinar hosts will give you the audio or the video to use for yourself as well. When you're on it, make sure that you promote it on social media and through email, on blogs, whatever it is. Promote it beforehand, promote it after as well too, so that one, you're giving back to them, but it also gives you credibility as well with your own audience or your own sort of people that are looking at you, and wider afield as well too. All right, what's next? Social media. Yes, we talk about social media all the time. How many people here finding that reach on social media is going down? Really hard to get people to see your posts. Anyone find that? Yep. So organically, it's just getting sort of harder and harder and harder. I think sort of Facebook, you're lucky to get 3% cut through, on your friends list. Only 3% of people will see it. Sometimes it'll be 1%. I know that when I do my live videos, a couple of years ago, I was getting, it wouldn't be uncommon to get sort of 500, 600, 700 views, as I'm going live. These days, if we can get to 50, it's that's a win. So that's really been sort of what's happened in that space. But don't discount it. Socials are really good for brand building, and it's good for profile as well. You don't need to post about your business, although it's helpful that you do post about your business, but mix it up with personal stuff. Be opinionated. So really offer your opinions on social media as well. Don't worry if people don't like you or block you, unfriend you. That's happened to me lots of times, because on the other side of the equation is you get people that really sort of love you and support you and come and back you as well too. So you really can't build a business being on the fence and being neutral. You have to take a position and take a stand. If you can be polarizing, which means that some people hate you, some people love you, maybe hate's a bit strong, maybe they don't like you and other people like you. But what happens in that is that's what generates a discussion. Anything that's neutral or pretty bland is not really going to generate a discussion, but things where people have got a view or an opinion and you've taken a side, that will generate discussion. And it's that discussion there and your contributions to the discussion. So make sure that, if you start a post and there is discussion, keep contributing to the discussion. And it's that there that gets people to know, because what people tend to do is they think, who is this person? They'll hover over your profile. And if you hover over it, then information comes up about who you are. And then sometimes I'll go and visit your page. Well, this is what I do, and I'm assuming other people do it as well too. I'm probably just a big stalker. Maybe you guys aren't. But I'll go to their page. I'll have a look and sort of see who they are. You know, what do they do? I look at their websites. Have they got website links? I'll click on their websites. I'll have a look through their websites. Look at other social media profiles. So I've got other social media profiles. Look at that. So that process there is really a process of people getting to know who you are. So so if you use your social media in that way, people start to become familiar with you and get to know who you are, and they get to decide whether they like you or don't like you. Doesn't matter which one it is, just as long as they decide that they like you or don't like you. So the ones that like you are probably more than likely going to be people that want to work with you. So there's your pool of people that out of that, there'll be a subset in there that you may be able to work with. The other thing with socials too, create a group, or you should, if you've got a business, you should always have a page, but also create a group. Now, a group is an interest group. So it's not a group that's your business name per se, but it's an interest. So, you know, what are the things that people are really interested in? What am I looking at here? We're looking at, let's say Ron. So Ron here, he offers, well, he's a coach and helps people in the, was it over 50s, Ron? Yep. So in the over 50 space. So he could be creating a group, which is something to do with, you know, I'm old, expired. No one wants to hire me. What do I do for work when I'm over 50? How can I create a business as an over 50-year-old? There's a group there that really sort of tailors to someone's interest. And so, you know, the group is all about that. The discussion's all about sort of opportunities and things in there. You'll see that if you have a look at groups around, just do a search of groups in your particular area of interest or what your clients are interested in, you'll get a feel and flavor for it. And then sort of, again, you're using AnswerThePublic to help you find topical areas as well too. Use that there to really sort of help you to garner and generate interest. And then once you set up a group, invite like crazy. So invite as many people as you possibly can to the group. Best place to start, in fact, the only place to start is your own contact list in your personal profile. So maybe people you don't want to invite there, that's fine, but just go and invite like crazy. Target is to try and get yourself to your first 1,000 people in your group in 90 days. If you can do that there, then you're well on the way. Now, the reason why a group's really good is that they are more highly engaged often than people that are just on your wall. They're there for a purpose. And you can often do things like you can create instructional things in there. You can create tutorials in there as well too. You'll know that people are interested. So if you start to provide some sort of value in that sort of group there that people just want to keep returning to it, it becomes a bit like an extension of a blog, but this is a blog on social media. You'll find that as people get engaged, they'll come and check you out. You can start to make some offers in there and get people back to your website. Don't make it a selling group, but you may sort of offer things in that group every now and again that gets them back to your website. So again, it's another good source of free traffic. You don't have to have just one group, although I would suggest that you just have one group to start with, because you do need to manage it as well too. You do need to keep it active. You need to be in there pretty much every day so that you're sort of keeping it reasonably active. And get some really good communities and groups around, and the narrower the interest, the more highly engaged that people are going to be, and the more likely you are to get people that are so birds of a feather that flock together in there, that will start to help each other. So you want the group to be one, not where you're necessarily helping everyone, but where everybody else is contributing in there, helping everybody else. So they're contributing in there. You're the facilitator in that group. You do need to moderate it to keep out the trolls and that sort of thing. But if you do that, then it works well. All right, let's flick through the rest. Directories, directories and citations. Make sure you get your website onto as many directories as you can. What I'm talking about directories are things like Yellow Pages, True Local, Hot Frog. If you're in an industry, find industry directories. Let's say you're a tradesperson, get a tradesperson directory. I know that even on Facebook, there's a concreters directory, would you believe? So just find as many directories to get into as possible. They're a quick and easy source of free traffic back to your website. You'll often find that when people are searching for types of businesses, directory listings come up in the first page of search. So it's a good way to get on page number 1 of search if you're not on it for your own website. Okay, next one, joint ventures. So look for people that are in similar non-competing industries where you can package up stuff together to promote to clients, or you could do something like you can contribute to their newsletter or as a guest poster to their blog. You can interview them in some sort of a podcast or webinar if they've got one as well too. So have a look at your contacts around there that would be good joint venture partners where they're happy to share you with their audience, you're happy to share your audience with them, and that way you're getting you're getting sort of traffic from them and vice versa. So I'm big on joint ventures. I know that some people on here are joint venture partners of mine. I'm looking at what have we got? Brad, Jeff. Let's go, Jane, have all spoken here on this webinar here. So over the sometime in the past 5 years or so, some have spoken a number of times. That's an example of a joint venture there. I'm happy to sort of have a guest speaker here because it means that I don't have to do all of the work, but it also means that I'm providing some good value to people that come along on a different topic that I don't know much about, but is is relevant to the world of business and being online on business. Oh, there's Steve as well there who's been on as well too. So joint ventures, think about sort of who you can partner with to do things. I've also done joint ventures at expos where we've provided a way bigger prize to encourage people to put business cards in a business card drawer that they wouldn't if I just offered up a prize of my own. So, so at a couple of the expos, we've offered up a $30,000 prize just by bundling together services from, so about 10 different partners into one big prize. We got all the leads and business cards into the drawer, share, and everybody got all of those leads and business cards, and they got more than they would have if they just had their own standard, did their own thing just by themselves. So joint ventures really sort of work ideally sort of for all partners. All right, next one's Google My Business. How many people here have not got a Google My Business profile? No, a couple of hands going up. Okay. Absolutely essential. You are missing out on free traffic with Google My Business. So Google My Business, if you're not sure what it is Google Maps. So when you have a look in the search results and you see maps appearing in the search pages, that's Google My Business. On the phone, people search, often people search on a phone as well too, and they use Google Maps as a search engine. So they might not be searching in the website, they're just looking for things like optometrist near me. Because I've broken my glasses, I need to go to an optometrist, for instance. So Google My Business are really important. Definitely important for a local business. But even if you've got a global business, it's also important to have a Google My Business profile. A couple of things about it. It's easy to set up to claim your business. You need to have a physical address that you can receive a postcard to, so that Google can verify you're an actual business that exists. There is a wizard in there to set up Google My Business. Make sure you complete that to 100%. Most people only get to about 70 or 80% complete. But if you get it to 100% complete, that gives you an edge over those that have only got it 80% complete, and you are more likely to get above the search results there than someone who's only got it to 80% complete. Now, 100% complete means things like uploading videos to Google My Business, posting to Google My Business. A lot of people don't know that people can put posts up to Google My Business. They last for 4 weeks and then they disappear, but you can keep recycling the same posts again as well too. So upload images, videos, all that sort of thing, trading hours, but work through it. It's really important you get that done properly and well. Plenty of Google's got a really good guide in terms of how to fill it out as well too. And the other thing that Google My Business offers is a free website. take advantage of that website. Don't use it as your main website. Use it as a link to your main website. So you can put your products and services on there and link it back to your website. So if people find it on Google, My Business, they can click through to your actual website. Really good source of free traffic. Networking, so physical stuff. Don't discount the value of going out to networking groups. So networking groups are things like KBN, BX, BNI. There's a heap of them out there as well too. So again, they're really good sources of traffic back to your website. Make sure you've got business cards with your website on it. Any brochures and flyers you have out there, make sure they've got links on it. If you've got a banner, here's a tip for a banner. Make sure you've got a QR code on your banner that leads back to somewhere on your website. So, with a QR code, so you can get a QR code. There are sites out there that allow you to create a QR code and change the destination. So you can have one QR code, and let's say if you're running a promotion this month or you've got an event on, that might lead to the to your event registration page. But next month that event's over. But you can go back to where you created the QR code, change the link that's in behind it, and then whenever anyone scans that same QR code on the banner the next month, it goes somewhere else. So, so that's a really good way to use it. I use it. I'm in a group called BX, and QR codes on my banners. Whenever I'm speaking, I'm standing in front of my banner. My banner's behind me. My QR code's over my shoulder. People that are watching that on Facebook are scanning the QR code to find my website. So not just the people that are in the room, but people that it's been streamed out to as well too. So so there you go. There's an extra tip there that we're using QR codes strategically like that as well too. And there's lots of online networking groups. There's one I've just come across recently. I haven't been to it yet, so I'm interested to go to it, called the Lunch Club. So Google the Lunch Club. It's free. You get to meet people all over the world. But you can sort of refine it down to groups and interests as well too. All right, almost there. Free PR. Any opportunity you can get into the newspaper, take it. Get interviewed on the radio and the media, take it. So free PR is absolutely fantastic in that, excuse me, you could never hope to get the reach. Well, most of us could never hope to get the reach that you can get with a local newspaper, local TV or radio network. And if you can get it for free rather than paying for it, one is it's more credible. People are more likely to believe it. And two, your reach is just a whole lot wider than just an ad as well too. So you might wonder, well, how can you get PR? You can contact journalists. Journalists are busy people. Best place, if you're starting out, is go to a site called sourcebottle.com.au, I think it is. I think they're in New Zealand as well too. So just look up Source Bottle. That is a journalist site, and they have call outs there for people that they're looking for to interview on particular topics and subjects. You've got to be really quick. The emails go out, I think it's 9 in the morning and 12 in the afternoon. Ish, different time zones, but they send it out. I think it's on in Australia here. It's Australian Eastern Standard Time. It needs to be reasonably quick to jump on those there. So I would suggest just having your topics that you can speak about or interview about. Just have a document somewhere where you've got your topics in that you can just cut and paste and put into the call outs. Don't just cut and paste, but also make a comment on why you think you've got an interesting perspective as well. Now, if they're looking for something, let's say to interview someone on a particular topic, and you've got an opposite stance to it, also submit for that as well too, because sometimes they're looking for an interesting angle which is different to what they've asked for. So but if you sign up to Source Bottle, they send an email out, so you just get it by email. You can scan it and decide whether you're going to respond, and they've also got a Facebook page as well too. All right, we are actually I said I was going to give you 7. I'm up to 11. I think I've just gone over, haven't I? You okay if I give you a couple more? All right, next one is to write a book. It's easier than it sounds. There are a few people here that are authors. In fact, your start to a book is to be writing blog posts regularly, turn some of those blog posts into an ebook, and then turn some of your ebooks into a book. That's a simplified process to go through, and these days you can self-publish to Amazon. It can be an electronic format. It doesn't even need to be hard copy, but if you can get hard copy, that's even better. That'll drive you traffic as well, because you never know where your books end up. And on Amazon, if you make sure you've got clickable links in your preface and certainly the start of your book, it means that people that don't buy your book, that are just scanning through the preface and the introduction on Google, they can actually click on your links and get through to your website too. So there's a sneaky trick to be able to use Amazon to drive you some free traffic if you've written a book. Amazon's not the only place. You've got Scribed, Kindle's Amazon. There are a range of other places as well to SlideShare that you can publish your ebooks and documents to as well too. All right, very last one I've got for you is free traffic, and that's mini courses. If you've got knowledge that you people want to learn, or information they want to learn. Remember I talked about using a video and sending it, creating sort of short tutorial videos. You can also create mini courses that you can sell for $1, $2, $10, $20, $40 or whatever. In that cheaper price range, I would suggest anything under sort of under $30 or under $47 is a good price range to be able to create courses to sell them. The idea of selling the course is to get people to buy them that are interested in it. If they're paid $10 for the course, they are probably more likely to be a more interested client than someone that is not paid for it. So, and when I'm talking about mini courses, I'm not talking about full-blown courses, but it's a course on one specific issue or topic. Remember I talked about long-tail keywords? Make a course about a long-tail keyword or a topic. So go to AnswerThePublic and make a short course on maybe sort of 3 topics in AnswerThePublic. So it could be a blog post. So it's really just an expanded version of. If you're selling it for $10, all you need to do is create a video. The mini course just needs to be a video of you talking about your experience and how to solve the issue or give some sort of solution around it. That's it. You don't have to provide downloads and PDFs and all that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be highly professional. It's only $10. People are not going to ask for their money back for $10, but it's the information they're after. So some of the courses that I've sort of seen and have bought for $10, the person who's running the course has just picked up his iPhone, just recording his thoughts on how he does things. That's it. So it doesn't have to be really sort of flash as well too, but it's a really good way of generating additional leads and additional traffic. You can market that up on social media and you'll start to get generate traffic coming through for people that are interested in that sort of area there. So that's it. I said 7, but I gave you 12. Is that okay? So what now? Well, really is up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. So out of all that, any sort of comments or feedback about anything that really garnered your interest, and what you think would be your lowest hanging fruit that you could do something with and commit to something tomorrow? Steve.
All right, I just wanted to let you know, I actually have a website that allows you to put your courses up for free, and it has a marketplace.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I built it for Irene, my wife, because she's a course creator.
Yeah,
she helps people create courses. So yeah, I built riseupcourses.com, and yeah, you can put your videos. There's quizzes, there's certificates, there's everything you need. It's not a WordPress site. It's been built by a developer. Yep. And yeah, I'm letting everyone use it for free.
Awesome. Well, drop that link into chat if you like. So that's a great resource if you're happy for people to have a look and check it out. That's awesome. Yep. All right. Any other comments, feedback? What are you going to do?
That's all good info, Nick. That's a lot of stuff you've given people there. I suppose the challenge for most people now will be to go away and put some of it in in place. I think the best advice you gave was at the very, very beginning, and you might rehash that for people again, was that, like, if they take all of that stuff that you just gave us in its entirety, people might go, oh, mate, that's a lot of stuff. Oh, where do I start? And it's a lot of stuff going on there. I think you talked about, and maybe you can probably explain it better than me, I think you talked about just picking one of those things and just doing that really, really well. So maybe you can go through a bit of a chat about that again, because there's a lot of stuff there, a lot of really good stuff, obviously, but people might be a little bit like, oh, mate, that's a lot of things to do. I'll be flat out busy doing that stuff all day. So
yeah, that's a really good point. And I would say, yeah, absolutely. That's a really good point, Brad, is just pick one, do that. I know that, you'll get stuck along the way as well too, and you'll need some help. You do need help with it. Make sure you go and find out where you can get help. Lots of resources out there. Just don't sort of, the worst thing you can do is lose momentum. So, if you get stuck, go and find how you can get unstuck. Go and look for information, go and find some solutions. So, but whatever you do, don't get stuck. If you do get stuck, keep going, because through that, you'll actually find your ways through it as well too. And remember that everybody's got to learn somewhere. Everyone's got to start somewhere. So if you think you're not very good, that's great, because everyone starts there and they only get better from there. All right. Any other last comments? Awesome. All right. Well, that's it. Just a quick question too. If any of those topics I've covered tonight, is there anything there that anyone here would have any interest in getting some sort of additional information on or help with, or that? So I'm not saying because I've got anything to sell you. I'm just curious to find out if there's anything there that you think would be you'd want to take further. If there is, just let me know, or just drop it in chat, just to give us some idea as to.
I'd like to talk to you, Nick.
Anne, yes?
Tomorrow or sometime.
Perfect. Yep, we'll organise a time.
I'll leave it for you to do for me. Okay?
Yep, you're on my list anyway, Anne.
Are you?
Yeah.
How long's your list, Nick?
Yeah. Well, it's only a short one. You're the only name on it. Excellent. All right. Well, what have we got in chat there? Yep. Okay. Oh, website's going in, fantastic. Oh, just remember to save the chat. If you go to chat there, click the 3 dots on the bottom right-hand side. If you click that, you can save the chat to your computer. It means you've got all the information, links and all that sort of stuff if you want to go and check those out later on. All right, well, there's our session for tonight. So thanks everyone for coming along. We'll be back here next Tuesday as well too with another topic. So go and I look forward to seeing some of your content that you create over the next week. So feel free to drop some in Business Owners Smashing Online Facebook group, message me, whatever sort of thing, share it with each other. But whatever you do, go and do something. All right, we're going to have a good night and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Nick. See you Thursday.
All righty.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
See you, Nick.
All right, see you.